My relationship with Star Wars has become, well, how do I put it, complicated. This amazing universe holds a special place in my heart, but lately my connection to the stories presented on Disney Plus has faded. The million-dollar question is obviously why, and I have reached the conclusion that it was Andor that ruined it for me.
Tony does something amazing in the way he writes that scene, where the moment where he chooses to pull the trigger, there's no other way, there's nothing else he could do. I love how it starts and how complex it makes the whole journey, you know?
If you thought this was a video about me criticizing this beauty of a series, you were wrong. Andor is pure quality in everything it's trying to accomplish. And when you compare it to its competition in writing, cinematography, and world building, it becomes almost laughable. The bar for Star Wars has been raised as a result of this series, and that's the problem, because the other shows aren't even close to this type of quality. Of course, Andor isn't the reason for Star Wars' current downfall, but it's such a considerable difference between what the franchise is at the moment compared to Andor and what it actually could become.
Maybe you're the one that's afraid.
Of course I'm afraid. But there's a difference between fear and losing your nerve. You want out of this. Make a choice. Don't use me as an excuse.
To make an example, we could analyze the difference between Kenobi and Andor and how they presented the overarching threat of the Empire. In Andor, we barely witnessed them in the opening 3 episodes. They are more like a looming threat that you know could make a sudden entrance any moment. And when they finally appear, it's not on the battlefield, rather at the core of the entire system. The audience experience how the Empire thinks, how they react to different threats, and the true power this organization holds in manipulation, control, and fear. We understand just how isolated the rebellion is at this point, and that in turn makes every stormtrooper and TIE fighter scary on a level I never could have imagined.
Get down, Tucky!
If we then study episode 4 of Kenobi, the difference is night and day. Let's just ignore the part where our Jedi infiltrates one of the most well-guarded buildings in the galaxy, along with how they then somehow manages to escape this fortress with Leia hidden under Kenobi's jacket, and instead focus on the scene between Leia and Reva a bit earlier. Why do I want to highlight this? Because Reva, an Inquisitor, isn't even able to intimidate a little girl. She is supposed to be scary, powerful, the clever one, like the entire Empire in Andor. Yet this scene and its writing suggests otherwise. And when one of the most quote-unquote terrifying characters fails to break down a child, fails to be scary, everything falls flat.
I hope you like pain. I'll never tell you where they are.
It's time to make those tears real.
If you're having difficulty speaking, just shake your head from side to side.
You'll want to be sure of that, Bix. That you're cooperating fully. It's repeat listenings that cause the most damage.
I want to engage you emotionally all the time. I want you to live inside all of these people, and that's what I care about.
Like the writer of Andor, Tony Gilroy, mentions, he wants the audience to feel the real stakes, the grounded reality of the series, that every single character has their own dilemma, their own view of the galaxy, which in turn makes for a genuine impression. Star Wars has often been pretty clear in their villains and heroes, but Andor throws that out the window with its flawed and complex characters like Cassian or Luthen. The series adds a whole new perspective of the rebellion in that it took some pretty terrible people to build it. All of this is complex storytelling. It's real storytelling, something that has been lacking from the average stuff in Mando Season 3, Book of Boba, or the sequel trilogy, to name a few.
The idea was to bring the story about the people that we don't see much in the films of Star Wars, you know, to add, to be different, to be unique, and at the same time be part of it, you know.
The serious tone of the series is obviously something kind of new to the franchise, and I have heard the comments saying that Andor doesn't even feel like Star Wars, and I understand that. Star Wars has always been a combination of heart, mythology, family, silly characters and so on. Andor has a different theme than that, and I'm not saying that I want every Star Wars project to turn into what Andor has done, but the difference in today's series and movies that still feels like Star Wars is that the understanding of what the franchise needs to be and the quality and time that has been dedicated to it has tragically been left behind. The stories can have these elements of fun and easygoing to it, but the writing, CGI and overall experience then still has to be respectable. In Andor, every single second of storytelling counts, and you could feel the dedication by the actors, directors and writers. And in the future I hope we as the audience will be able to feel this love and greatness with other projects as well. But that's enough rambling for today. If you want to watch another Star Wars video, why don't you click on this one? Thank you for watching, and I hope you will have a great day.